Ben loved to tinker in his workshop, dreaming of gadgets which no one believed it worked. While others played sports or watched TV, Ben spent time building from scraps, dreaming of a future where his ideas could make a difference. Despite his best efforts, his classmates always laughed at him, calling his inventions useless. One day, Jake, his classmate, leaned over to him and said, "What's that supposed to be, junk boy? Another useless contraption?" Ben stayed silent, refusing to show how much their words hurt him. One afternoon, a huge storm swept through the town, knocking out the power and plunging everyone into darkness. The people gathered in the streets, frustrated and unsure of what to do. As the dark clouds rolled in, Ben's mother, Mrs. Turner, lit a candle in their home, her face filled with concern. Ben stood in his darkened room, looking out the window at the howling wind. He suddenly steps away, his expression lit not by fear but inspiration. "Mom, I have an idea." In the midst of the storm, Ben had an idea. He knew his wind turbine might just work. With no time to waste, he rushed to his workshop to bring his invention to life. Ben pulled his work gloves and started rummaging through old boxes and parts, tightening bolts and connecting wires. Just then Mrs. Turner steps in, seeing her son surrounded by chaos. She says, "Ben, are you sure about this?" Ben looks up with confidence and says, "I can do it, Mom. The wind is everywhere. I just need to catch it." The next morning, at the first sight of dawn, Ben stands in the middle of the street, the generator humming beside him. A crowd has gathered, skeptical but curious. Just then a man said, "What is this contraption? It looks something out of the junkyard." Another woman said, "Do you think it will work? He is just a kid." Ben hears bits of their doubt. He looks at his mother, who gives him an encouraging nod. With trembling hands, Ben flips the switch. The turbine spins for a second. Nothing happens. And then it happened. The darkness that had gripped the town for so long began to fade. One by one, the streetlights flickered to life, their golden light a hope in the darkness. Ben looks up at the glowing streetlights. A small, triumphant smile spreads across his face. He didn't need their applause. The lights shining above were proof enough that his idea, his dream, had worked. In that moment, he wasn't just a boy with a wild imagination. He was the town's hero. All his friends and neighbors rushed to congratulate him. Mrs. Turner embraces him, her voice trembling with pride. "You did it, Ben. You really did it." In that moment, it became clear. Always believe in your ideas, even if others doubt you. Don't give up, because innovation comes from persistence, creativity, and having the courage to trust yourself.